Coffee, meat, beer, friend or danger at 50 plus. All right, gentlemen, buckle up. Your health is on the chopping block. Every morning you're chugging that steaming cup of coffee, fantasizing about a sizzling steak for lunch, and counting down to a frosty beer with your buddies. Sounds like the good life, right? But hold the phone. What if these three loves of your life are quietly stabbing your heart in the back? After 50, your body's not some invincible hot rod anymore. It's a vintage Mustang that needs careful tuning. One slip, too much coffee jittering your nerves, too many burgers clogging your arteries, or one too many beers bloating your belly, and poof, your energy checks out. Don't freak out just yet. Hier is hier maus at weer bervri ibasa deter. Emsels bo ever be dinaus wittiber punner rear far. Per mammer peel be peel day peel milling back the curtain on coffee, meat, and beer. Are they your ride or die pals or sneaky saboteurs? Stick with me for hard-hitting science, a few belly laughs, and game-changing tips to keep you thriving in your 50s and beyond. Let's dive in. They need why this hits home for men 50 plus, health, heart, energy. These aren't just fancy words, they're your lifeline after 50. Your body's dropping hints like a bad poker player. A little fatigue here, a weird chest twinge there. Brush them off and you're gambling with your heart. Scary? Sure. But here's the good news. VitaVeg is your wingman. We're sorting out whether coffee, meat, and beer are boosting you up or dragging you down. And don't worry, we're not preaching. We're keeping it real with some humor, because who says staying healthy has to feel like a funeral? After 50, you've earned the right to enjoy life. But let's make sure you're around to keep enjoying it. So, what's the deal with these three staples? Let's break it down. Starting with the king of wake-ups. Coffee, your morning hero or a stress villain? Coffee, it's practically the national anthem of mornings. Picture this. Back in 9th century Ethiopia, a goat herd named Keldi caught his goats dancing like nobody's watching after munching red coffee cherries. That's right, coffee was born from partying goats. Fast forward to today, and it's our go-to fuel. Science backs it up. Harvard studies say 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day can slash your heart disease risk by 15%. Those antioxidants in your brew are like tiny bodyguards, keeping your arteries clean and your heart pumping strong. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's where it gets dicey. Guzzle more than 3 cups and coffee flips from hero to havoc wreaker. It spikes your blood pressure, hijacks your sleep, and leaves you jitterier than a squirrel on a power line. At 50 plus, sleep isn't just nice, it's non-negotiable for your health. My pro tip? Stick to 2 to 3 cups, skip the sugar syrups, and call it quits by 3 p.m. After that, switch to herbal tea or plain water. Your body will thank you, and you'll wake up feeling like $1,000,000 instead of a tired old dime. A quick laugh. Why is coffee so chill? Because it always flows through the filter without a fuss. But if you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., your coffee might be stirring up more than just your morning. Meat, fuel for kings or a heartbreaker in disguise. Now let's talk meat, the undisputed champ of every grill session. Whether it's a thick ribeye, a juicy burger, or a smoky bratwurst, meat makes you feel like you're ruling the world. Rewind to ancient times. Hunters took down woolly mammoths just for a bite, and in medieval Europe, a slab of beef was a status symbol fit for lords. Today, meat's on every menu. But is it a friend to men 50 plus? Here's the juicy part. Meat is loaded with protein and zinc, which is like kryptonite for prostate problems. Research from the Mayo Clinic says zinc can cut prostate issues by 20%. That's a win for every guy over 50. But hold your horses, because too much red meat, especially processed junk like hot dogs or bacon, is like inviting trouble to dinner. Studies warn it can jack up your cholesterol and heart attack risk by a whopping 30%. Your arteries are practically waving a white flag, begging, give us a breather. So what's the play? Eat red meat 2 to 3 times a week, pick lean cuts like sirloin, and mix in chicken, fish, or brace yourself, vegetables. Yep, I said it. A side of broccoli or zucchini won't kill you, but it might just save your heart. Balance is the name of the game, and you're still the king of the grill. A quick laugh. Why does meat always steal the show? Because it's got too much stake in the game. But if your waistline's screaming for mercy, it's time to rethink that third burger. Beer your best bud or a sneaky saboteur? And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, beer. There's nothing like cracking open a cold one after a long day, am I right? Beer's got serious history. Sumerians were brewing it 5,000 years ago, calling it liquid bread to keep them going. Even Egyptian pharaohs had their own brewmasters. Today, science gives beer a thumbs up, but only in moderation. European studies say 1 beer a day can lower stress and improve blood flow, thanks to polyphenols that give your heart a little love. That's right, 1 beer can be a wingman for your health. But slam more than 1, and things go south fast. Excess beer piles on the pounds, hammers your liver, and cranks up your blood pressure like nobody's business. That beer belly? It's not a trophy. It's a warning sign. At 50 plus, you don't need extra baggage slowing you down. My advice? Stick to 1 quality beer, maybe a craft IPA or stout, and give non-alcoholic ones a shot. Trust me, they've come a long way from tasting like sadness. Oh, and hydrate with water between rounds. Your heart, liver, and mirror will all give you a high five. A quick laugh. Why's beer the life of the party? Because it's always bubbling with excitement. But when your beer belly starts needing its own zip code, it's time to pump the brakes. In your battle plan, men 50 plus. All right, men 50 plus, let's lock this in. Coffee, meat, and beer don't have to be your enemies. They can be your allies if you play it smart. Here's your cheat sheet. Coffee. 2 to 3 cups max, no sugar, done by early afternoon. Meat. Lean cuts 2 to 3 times a week, paired with veggies for the win. Beer. 1 glass a day, and non-alcoholic brews are your secret weapon. But don't stop there, get moving. A 30-minute walk every day isn't just exercise. It's a ticket to a stronger heart. Studies say guys who stay active can live up to 7 years longer. That's 7 more years of grilling steaks, sipping beer, and laughing with your crew. You're not just surviving your 50s, you're owning them. 6. A trip through history. Want to know something wild? Beer wasn't just a drink in the Middle Ages. Monks chugged it during Lent because it was so hearty they called it liquid bread. Crazy, right? Coffee shook up Europe in the 1600s, turning sleepy taverns into buzzing debate halls where ideas sparked like wildfire. And meat? It was pure flex for ancient kings and warriors, a symbol of power and survival. Fast forward to today and we've got more choices than ever, but with great power comes great responsibility. Knowing this history reminds us, coffee, meat, and beer are gifts, but only if we respect them. Your health deserves that respect, and you've got the smarts to make it happen.
A trip through history. Want to know something wild? Beer wasn't just a drink in the Middle Ages. Monks chugged it during Lent because it was so hearty they called it liquid bread. Crazy, right? Coffee shook up Europe in the 1600s, turning sleepy taverns into buzzing debate halls where ideas sparked like wildfire. And meat? It was pure flex for ancient kings and warriors, a symbol of power and survival. Fast forward to today, and we've got more choices than ever, but with great power comes great responsibility. Knowing this history reminds us, coffee, meat, and beer are gifts, but only if we respect them. Your health deserves that respect, and you've got the smarts to make it happen.
Bonus tips to supercharge your energy. At 50 plus, you're not chasing youth, you're building a better, stronger you. Want energy that keeps up with your ambitions? Ditch the coffee overload and stock up on power foods. Walnuts are like little brain boosters, packed with omega-3s for your heart. Spinach? It's not just Popeye's secret, it's loaded with iron to keep you sharp. And don't sleep on bananas. Their potassium keeps your blood pressure in check and your muscles happy. When you're grilling meat, throw on some bell peppers or asparagus. They're bursting with vitamin C, which fights off stress and keeps your health in top gear. For beer lovers, explore non-alcoholic craft brews. You get all the flavor without the foggy mornings, and here's a game changer. Take a brisk walk after dinner. It's not about becoming a gym bro. It's about shrinking that beer belly and feeling like a rock star. Small moves, big results. Stories from the real world. Let me tell you about my buddy Dave, a 55-year-old who thought he could party like he was 25. Pounding coffee till midnight, scarfing down burgers like they were going out of style, and treating beer like it was water. Sound familiar? One day, he got a wake-up call. His doc said his cholesterol was through the roof, and his heart was waving a red flag. Dave didn't give up his favorites. He got smart. He cut coffee to 2 cups, swapped half his red meat for salmon, and limited himself to 1 beer a night. 6 months later, he dropped 20 pounds, his energy was back, and he was cracking jokes like a stand-up comic. The lesson? You don't have to ditch coffee, meat, or beer. Just use them wisely. If Dave can do it, so can you. Here's why moderation isn't a dirty word. Look, nobody's saying you need to live like a monk, unless that monk's brewing beer, of course. Moderation doesn't mean giving up fun. It means stretching the good times longer. Every coffee you sip, every steak you savor, every beer you toast with, they're all part of a life well lived. But after 50, your health is like a bank account. What you put in determines what you get out. Overdo the coffee, and you're cashing out sleep. Pile on the meat, and your arteries pay the price. Chug too much beer, and your waistline's writing checks your body can't cash. The trick is balance. A little discipline today means more barbecues, more laughs, and more years to raise a glass. You're not cutting back. You're investing in epic tomorrows.
Wrap up with a bang. Men 50 plus, your health is your ultimate power-up. Here at VitaVeg, we've cracked the code. Coffee, meat, and beer can be your wingmen if you keep them in check. So, what's your next move? Swapping that sugary latte for a black coffee? Grilling some veggies alongside your meat? Toasting with a non-alcoholic beer that tastes like victory? Hit the comments and tell us, coffee, meat, or beer? What's your MVP? If this video lit a fire under you, smash that like button, share it with your crew, and subscribe to VitaVeg for more tips to dominate your 50s. You're not just getting older, you're getting better, stronger, and wiser. Let's keep the good times rolling. Final chuckle. Why doesn't beer ever get a desk job? Because it's too busy foaming up adventures. Catch you next time, legends. Stay awesome.